All right, next thing we're going to talk about is percent increase or decrease. Sometimes you'll hear it as just percent change. So let's look at question number 1. The average price of a gallon of gas one year was about $4.08 per gallon. The following year, the price of a gallon of gas was about $4.45 a gallon. What percent has the average price of a gallon of gas increased? Round to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to set up a proportion to figure this out, but I want to know what percent the price of a gallon of gas has increased by. So what I need to do is I have to figure out how much did the price increase by to begin with, right? So the price increase, the way I would figure that out is just take my two prices and subtract them. So $4.45 minus $4.08 is 37 cents. So I know that's how much the price increased by. So I want to know, what is this as a percent? That's all. Okay, so percent, I don't know the percent, so I'm going to say x over 100 because percent is always over 100 and I don't know it, so I'll call it x. And I know that it went up by 37 cents, and I want to know what that is as a percent, so these two should correspond with each other. Over the 100%, the full price, which is the original price. I want you guys to write down right here that this must be the original. If it's not the original, you will mess up. Okay, and the original price was $4.08. Okay, go through and cross multiply. You end up getting 37 equals 4.08x. Divide by $4.08, you end up getting x equals, rounded to the nearest hundredth. Let's see what we get. So it should be 37 divided by 4.08. Your answer is 9.06863. You might have more decimal places than I do. That's fine. But rounded to the nearest hundredth, you should get 9.07%. Okay? Now, in number 2, it says, suppose the average price of a quart of milk at the beginning of the year was $1.50. If the average price decreased by 24 cents, so I already know the amount of change. I don't have to worry about figuring that out. Find the percent of decrease. So I don't know the percent, so I'm going to call it x, and it's over 100. And I know that the amount of change is 24 cents over the original amount, which is $1.50. So now, again, all I have to do is cross multiply and solve. So I get $1.50x equals 24. Divide both sides by 1.5. You should end up getting 16%. So that means that this 24 cents is 16% of $1.50. And what this means here is that if I take 9.07% of $4.08, I should get 37 cents, which is how much the price increased by. So the new price is $4.45. Okay? Hopefully you understand why you would subtract in number 1 and why you don't in number 2. Because again, in number 2, it already tells you the amount of change or the price decreased. You don't have to figure it out. Okay. Number 3, the price of a ticket to a baseball game in 2011 was $25. The stadium increased ticket prices by 7% for 2012. Find the price of a ticket in 2012. So this time I do know the percent. I know that the percentage is 7%, so I'm going to say 7 over 100. And I do know the original amount, which is 25, so that goes on the bottom. Figure out what x is on top, go through, cross multiply, you end up getting 175 equals 100x. So x is $1.75. But that doesn't mean the new price of the ticket is $1.75. It means that this is the amount of change. Okay? So to figure out what the new price is, all I have to do is take the original amount, which is 25, add the amount of change to it, and my final answer is $26.75. That's how much the new price will be. Okay? Last one, number 4. A police department reported that the number of traffic accidents in their town decreased by 18% since last year. If there were 150 accidents last year, how many accidents happened this year? So, I know the percentage. I know that there was a total of 150 last year, so that's the original, right? And I'm going to call this x. Just go through, cross multiply. You end up getting 100x equals 2,700, which means x is 27. But again, that doesn't mean that there were 27 accidents the following year. It means it just went down by 27. And since it's decrease, I have to subtract it this time instead of add it. So if there were 150 last year, it went down by 27. Now there's 123 accidents this year.